Before girl groups were choreographed within an inch of their lives, there were the Go-Go's, 5 punk rock princesses with eyeliner thicker than plot armor and more drama than a Bravo reunion. Forget your bubblegum pop princesses. We're talking about 5 women who didn't just make music. They made noise. Real, unapologetic, punk pop, glitter-covered noise. This wasn't just a band. This was a 5-piece glitter bomb with a drum kit and a lawsuit on speed dial. The Go-Go's weren't here to play nice. They tore up the rule book, set fire to expectations, and still became legends. There were personality clashes, creative battles, and, drugs. Sprinkle in some lawsuits, a few walkouts, and a whole lot of eyeliner, and boom, you've got punk rock real housewives with guitars. Let's dive in and see how it all started in 1978, Los Angeles, where punk was wild, eyeliner was thicker than your mom's lasagna, and the music scene was one big, beautiful mess. Out of that glorious chaos came 5 fabulous misfits who decided to band together and shake things up. And no, this wasn't some we were besties in homeroom situation. This was pure, chaotic girl power with a pinch of fate. Charlotte Caffey was the brains behind the riffs. Lead guitar and keyboards, a.k.a. the band's musical Swiss Army knife. Who is Belinda Carlisle? Oh, just a full-on rock goddess with vocals that could melt steel. Then there's Gina Schock, the drummer who hit harder than a mom with a wooden spoon, and zero patience. Kathy Valentine slayed on bass after replacing another bassist. Ooh, drama already. And Jane Weedlin, rhythm guitarist, backup vocalist, and full-on quirky queen. This crew wasn't built to blend in. They came to dominate. Fast forward to 1981, and the Go-Go's signed with IRS Records, run by Miles Copeland, a.k.a. the guy who also managed the Police. By the next year, they were out on tour with the Police. Glow Up Alert, then boom, Beauty and the Beat. Drops, and no one's ready. The album sneaks in, looks around, and then kicks the door down by climbing to number 1 on the Billboard charts. It stayed there for 6 straight weeks in 1982 and went double platinum. It even charted internationally. Canada went nuts. Australia took notice. And Rolling Stone eventually gave it a spot on their 500 greatest albums list, like, okay, fine, y'all did that. And the singles. Our Lips Are Sealed, and We Got the Beat were inescapable. Like if you weren't singing them in your bedroom with a hairbrush mic were you even living. And they snagged a Grammy nomination in 1982 for Best New Artist. Yes, ma'am, but they weren't just a one-album wonder. Oh, no. In 1982, they dropped Vacation, and the title track was a certified bop. Top 10 hit. Instant classic. Cue even more mirror sing-alongs and hairbrush microphones, 'cause when I tell you that everyone and their cousin was scream-singing Vacation all I ever wanted in the shower, the album went gold. But the other singles, crickets, didn't even crack the top 40. To top it all off, the girls had to pump the brakes during promotion, because drummer Gina also had to get heart surgery, so everything kind of paused, and fans were left like, hello? They bounced back in '84 with Talk Show, and Head Over Heels gave us another moment. It hit number 11 and, honestly, still slaps, but the cracks were starting to show. Behind the scenes, personality clashes, creative tug-of-wars, and, some recreational chaos. The other thing, rocking backstage substances. Yep, the Go-Go's didn't just party, they majored in it. Belinda Carlisle once said they did the booze, the drugs, the fun, living that chaotic rock star fantasy, minus the groupies, because, unlike the guys, they weren't about collecting fans. They were too busy collecting hangovers. Jane Weedland kept it real, saying drugs and alcohol were basically their only tools to deal with the pressure. Imagine going from dive bars to world tours overnight with zero emotional prep and a suitcase full of eyeliner. Stress? Through the roof. Coping skills? Non-existent. Charlotte Caffey struggled hard during the band's rise. Her drug and alcohol dependency almost became a character in the band. She eventually got sober, but not before things got very real. And Belinda, she's been open about battling a 30-year cocaine addiction. 30 years. She said it was all tied to insecurity, depression, and trauma that fame only made worse. Like glitter on the outside, chaos on the inside. The band's wild lifestyle wasn't just tabloid fodder. It actually fed the tension that would eventually tear them apart. Fame hit fast, and instead of therapy, they reached for a bottle or a bump. It was glamorous until it wasn't. And by late '84, Jane said, "I'm out," and dipped. And in 1985, Belinda and Charlotte threw in the towel, too. Bye-bye Go-Go's. Just like that. But you know, the drama didn't end there. The Go-Go's were like that one friend group that keeps breaking up and getting back together. In 1990, surprise! They reunited for a show, and the fans lost their minds. 80s babies were dusting off their cassettes and screaming in the front row. But behind the scenes, it was still messy. Reuniting these ladies was like herding glitter-covered cats. Every tour felt like it was one sarcastic comment away from a full-blown fistfight in sequence. And then came the lawsuit. Yep. Gina Schock, our chill drummer in the back, was like, "Where's my money?" She sued the rest of the band for unpaid royalties and said Charlotte Caffey completely ignored their songwriting agreement. You know it got real when lawyers showed up. Things were technically settled by '99. But let's be honest, those vibes stayed frosty. In 2001, they dropped God Bless the Go-Go's, their first album in 17 years. Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day even co-wrote a track. Cute effort, but it flopped at number 57. Still, they sold out Central Park because nostalgia equals money. Belinda's solo career wasn't paying all the bills, and the girls were chasing that retro coin. By 2011, they got their Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Cue the awkward smiles and stiff group hug, and in 2012, more chaos. They broke her wrist, and Belinda sent her a "You're out" email. Not a call. An email. Caffey wasn't having it. She hit them with a $1 million lawsuit. Accusations flew. She's toxic. They're greedy. Where's my check? It was giving reunion tour meets courtroom drama. In 2013, Caffey was officially out. No farewell. No montage. Just a cold, irreconcilable differences on the website. Lawsuit quietly settled, but the shade loud. Still, the Go-Go's couldn't stay gone. In 2014, they were inducted into the Hollywood Bowl Hall of Fame, while Caffey was still suing them. The smiles, forced, the tension, palpable. Champagne probably spiked with passive aggression. Then 16 came with yet another farewell tour, because apparently goodbye is a suggestion. Fans were like, "Girl, again?" Caffey was MIA. The excuse? Creative differences, translation? Somebody said something shady in rehearsal. But plot twist, in 2018, Caffey reappeared for the Head Over Heels Broadway musical promo, and Belinda's solo hits were in it. Heaven is a Place on Earth. In a Go-Go's musical? Bold, thirsty, iconic. Then, in 2020, they dropped Club Zero, their first new song in 19 years. It was cute, but the pandemic canceled their tour before it even started, and their documentary conveniently skipped all the lawsuits like it was a Disney movie. PR spin at its finest. In 2021, they finally got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Drew Barrymore gave a heartfelt intro. Belinda called it their pinnacle. Everyone cried. Then, they broke up again in 2022 because, of course, by 2024, they were teasing festival appearances like retirement was just another outfit change. These queens don't quit. They pivot, bottom line. The Go-Go's may not be touring together anymore, but don't get it twisted. These women are still shaking tables in their own glamorous, messy, unforgettable ways. Once a Go-Go, always a little chaotic. So, where are they now? Retirement, never heard of her. These ladies may not be storming the charts, but they're still collecting checks and making noise in their own fabulous ways. Belinda Carlisle, 66, is globetrotting on her Heavenly Hits Tour 2025, like it's still 1985. Hair, big, energy, bigger, and with a net worth of $14 million. She's the glam front woman who turned solos into stacked coins. Jane Weedlin, also 66, traded guitars for animal activism, marching to her own synth beat and chilling with $8 million worth of vintage cool. Charlotte Caffey, 77, is living her best low-key life. Royalty checks still rolling in, drama left on red, and $8 million tucked away for a rainy L.A. day. Gina Shock 65 is mentoring the next gen of rockers, still fierce behind the kit and sitting comfy with $10 million. Quiet power, loud drums. Kathy Valentine, 67, is spilling tea in memoir form. If her lawsuits were any preview, who? And she's still rocking an $8 million cushion. Lawsuits and all. The verdict, whether they're on stage or off the radar, the Go-Go's didn't just make music. They made money and drama and history. Because once a Go-Go, always a Go-Go. Even if you're just counting streams from the beach, they were glam, they were wild, and they were a hot mess. In the best way possible, the Go-Go's didn't just give us bops. They gave us beef, sequins, and a masterclass in keeping the drama alive. 1 minute they're harmonizing. The next, they're lawyering up. And somehow it worked. The chaos? Iconic. The shade? Unmatched. The music? Timeless. But don't get it twisted. The Go-Go's made history. They sold over 7 million records, top charts, and delivered some of the catchiest songs in music history. Sure, they fought like cats in a glitter bag and racked up more lawsuits than albums. But hey, legends are supposed to be messy. And messy? Oh, the Go-Go's perfected it. So next time someone tells you girl groups are all sugar and spice, point them to the Go-Go's and watch them get smacked with sequins, scandal, and 7 million sold records.